Can you guys see it says, who am I?
Yes.
Okay. You may know me. If you don't say it if you know it. I am your constant companion. I am your greatest helper, and I may be your heaviest burden. I will push you onward or drag you down to failure. I am at your command. Half of the tasks you do might as well be turned over to me. I am able to do them quickly. I am able to do them the same every time if that's what you want. I am easily managed. All you've got to do is be firm with me. Show me exactly how you want it done to be done. And after a few lessons, I'll do it automatically for the rest of your life. I am the servant of all great men and women, of course, and I am the servant to all the failures as well. I've made all the great individuals who ever have been great, and I've made all the failures that have ever failed. But I work with all the precision of a marvelous computer. I work with the intelligence of the human being. Be easy on me, and I will destroy you. Be firm on me, and I will put the whole world at your feet. Who am I? By Dennis P. Kimbrough.
Your mind.
Your mind.
Your habits.
Subconscious.
Habit.
Your habits. I'm a habit. Okay. This is going to be so I did a happiness challenge, and this is going to be my day one for today, what I'm going to do for the happiness challenge. I was actually just, listening to my book from John Maxwell, which, by the way, it's John Maxwell, Develop the Leader Within You. And it's an amazing book. Like, it just makes you want to be a better person every second. It's just such a great book. Like, I love this book. The next one I'm going to read is the 7 Levels of Leadership. And I've prepared this training yesterday. And I swear the universe just brings you exactly what you need. So as I'm preparing this lesson, literally I heard this quote 10 minutes where I was like, I've got to break that quote down right now. It took me like about 8 minutes because it was longer than I realized. And so I'm listening to it. So I had to go Google it, and it was just perfect for what today's lesson is going to be about. I mean, doesn't that just give you the chills? And it's so, so true. Our habits absolutely make us and they break us. Okay, they make us and they break us. And having good habits requires self-discipline, right? It requires self-discipline. It requires us, to be great, right? I mean, it's not good enough anymore just to be good enough. You have to be great. You have to be excellent because there's so much competition out there. And so by us having amazing self-discipline and creating habits, it's going to be the difference of you having everything that you want in life or it destroying your life. I mean, I really want you to that to sink in. I'm going to read that quote a couple times today because it's just so powerful and it's 100% so true. So as I'm talking right now as I go into the training today, I want you to remember that quote, which I just so marvelously, not by accident at all, just came up upon. So let's talk now about growth, and we're going to be talking about the success gene today. And this is based upon 2.5 years of being in this program and really, really seeing how the people that are successful, like what makes them different. First of all, they're not different. It's that they have habits and they have a lot of self-discipline. Okay. Growth. During life, we experience good times, hardships, challenges, pitfalls, setbacks, losses, and wins in life. Growth comes when we as humans acquire the wisdom to learn from our experiences and do more of what works and less of what doesn't. Now, my computer. Now that means that's going to require us to have to actually do self-reflection. Okay? In order for us to actually grow, And to learn from our experiences, we have to be willing to look back at our actions and ask ourselves if, what did we learn? How can we change? Now, why so many people tend to fail is because they do not self-reflect and they want to blame, right? They want to blame. They want to point blame on their childhood or their situation or whatever it might be. And so they don't ever learn because they're not growing because they're too busy passing blame and not really having true self-reflection. Okay. Now I want you to think about something. Every single thing in life that happens is a correlation between cause and effect. Okay. And now when I say this, some of you might get mad at me and that's okay. It's okay if you get mad at me. Sometimes you don't like your coach, right? Now there's some situations in life, for example, if somebody passes away and those kind of things I'm not talking about right now, but pretty much if you have some kind of sickness, although a lot of sicknesses we cause. Okay. So if those are the two things I don't want you to think, oh, she's just being a jerk right now. No, but even things like, going through a really horrible divorce, like you guys know I was divorced, right? And even though who I was married to, made some bad decisions. Well, I made the decision to get divorced in the first place. Truth be told, that a month before my wedding, a little birdie in my head said, you shouldn't be doing this. And I was too afraid not to because we'd already paid for the wedding and I didn't want to just, upset my parents and everyone else. But I knew something wasn't right. Okay. So 7 years later, after 2 kids and drained bank accounts and being a single mom who just left her full-time teaching career, that was 100% on me. Okay. There was causes and there was effects. So I want you to start taking 100% responsibility for exactly where you are right now and 100% for where you are going. Now let's say that again. 100% responsibility for where you are right now and where you are going. One of the things that we had debated making our students do when they first started the course was reading the book Extreme Ownership. Okay, Navy SEALs wrote the book, and it's an amazing book. I've read it, and it just talks about this. It's taking 100% responsibility for where you are and where you're going, and really, really owning the fact, 100% owning the fact that you are 100% in control of where you are right now and where you are going. This right now is essentially important with everything that we have going on in our environment right now. Okay. This is the reason why I'm doing this training right now is because of what we have going on. And it's for so many people, it's an excuse to let the environment and the situation keep them from propelling forward, but you are in control. Okay. Your past, your excuses, your family, your drama, your childhood, your messy divorce, your bad husband or great husband or whatever it might be, none of it matters. You are in control. The only thing that matters are the actions that you take and the time that you put in. Now let's repeat that. The actions you take and the time that you put in. Now, most people, the time factor is very, very difficult because we don't want to have to put the time in, right? And I want you to think about anything in life, truthfully, and this is from John Maxwell, it really is uphill. All the good things in life, the things that are worth the time and the effort and the energy, they're uphill. Now, I want you to think about when you're walking on a straight line, it's easy. You don't even think about it, right? But when you start to go uphill, you have to change the positioning of your body, right? You have to completely it's harder. And your body is it's actually at a, if you're in a seatbelt, it's actually hunched over and you have to use all different parts of your body and it's like exhausting and it's grueling on your body. When you truly, truly go uphill, it's completely different than just walking on a straight line like everyone else does. But the effects of getting up the hill on the body, especially doing it over and over and over again over time, it starts to make a huge difference in your life. Now, and again, this is mostly from what we were seeing in the program, and I want to talk to you about what I call mediocrity syndrome. Okay, mediocrity syndrome, and this isn't for you really in this program. Is you like to learn. So people that don't really want to learn, or that don't want to seek knowledge and truth. Okay, they're happy just where they are. They think that, hey, I know enough. I'm good. I don't need to continue to learn and grow. But I want you to understand the fact that we never, ever should stop trying to grow and trying to become better and trying to learn, implement, master, repeat, to master the activities of not just our business, but who we are as people. Okay? Mediocrity syndrome comes from people that are not able to implement. They learn, right? But they don't really implement. They're not really willing to really, truly do what it takes to get to the top of that hill. They think they should just get there right away. Okay? When people learn to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, I'm saying that wrong, I know I am, but, or they learn, to play the guitar, or to be in an orchestra, or a ballerina who's forever, spends her life, her toes are completely, they don't get there in a day. But why are so many people not great and excellent? Because they don't put in the time. Okay? And the thing about effort and time is that people think like, oh man, it's too hard to put in that work because it's going to take too long. It's just going to be too hard. But when you put in the hard work and the time and the effort now, actually, when you get to that point, it's so much easier than trying to take the quick way for a long time, because that quick way, that easy way, it doesn't really exist. And you're forever trying to get to it. Right? So although it may seem like, man, it's kind of like when you're getting your master's degree, right? Or your, hi baby, how you doing? My daughter has just walked in. It's kind of like when you start school and you're going to get your master's degree. For me, I didn't know I was going to get my master's degree. I thought I was just going to get my bachelor's degree. And I remember thinking, man, 5 years is a long time. Like, that's a long time, right? But you still do it. And that's a lot of money. And I had to pay for all my own schooling. And it was like, oh, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of loans. It's a lot. But the end result was great. And then when I got there, it was like, wow, I did that. Now let me get my master's, right? Great. Now let me get my teaching credential. Okay. Now that was like an 8-9 year journey. But I'll tell you what, me taking that, the cause and the input, right? The input, all that work, and the time for the output way, way exceeds what the input was originally, even though at the time it didn't seem like it. Okay. So let's talk now about the time and the momentum effect. People will apply effort and they will not see the results right away, and they will not give it the time to see the results. So they give up quickly and they make excuses as to why it didn't work without taking any responsibility. Okay, it's somebody else's fault. It just didn't work. I was built that way. It's the past experiences, whatever it might be. And what you have to understand is that when you give things the time it takes and you take personal responsibility and you start to see the long-term benefits of the compound effect, like think about compound interest. Okay, how compound interest works. It's slow in the beginning, right? Like you don't see anything at all. So I want you to think about, like, I'm going to show you something too, so you can really, really get the idea of this. When you put all this work in, right? Let me give you a good example, okay? A couple of good examples. So one example is writing my book, right? Writing my book took me over a year to write the first book, okay? And it took me tons of time and energy. And I'll never forget my husband telling me, oh my God, Krista, it's 3 a.m. Like, you've got to come to bed now. He woke up and I'm doing this. And he'd be like, babe, your computer, it's driving me crazy. I'm like, I'm sorry, hon, because I had to work all day and then I had to write the book at night. And even though I didn't see anything, like for that year and all the hundreds of hours that goes into writing a book, literally, I didn't see any of the results from it, right? Then a year goes by and I'm trying so hard to get my name out there and all this. And guess what? Now the book was written about 4 years ago, I probably started. And now I'm still picking up clients from efforts that I put in 4 years ago. Okay. So all that work, now it's like compounding. And now the more one person reads my book and they tell somebody else, it's kind of like compound interest, right? That's the same with the efforts that you're putting in with what you're doing now. Sometimes you don't always see the results right away. Okay. This is actually a training that I'm going to be putting in the program, like as one of the first trainings that people take. And then I'm going to remind them at month 3, go back to that first training, right? Because when you start to, oh man, but you have to understand the work that you're putting in will have an effect later. Just because you don't see it now, just because you don't remember all the things that you did to get things you're getting now, it is working for you. I went to a listing appointment with my brother on a Tuesday, and the lady said, it was so cool. I go, how did you hear about me? She goes, well, we see you everywhere. But 6 years ago, literally 6 years ago, you had a listing 6 years ago, and I was a buyer and I had an agent. My agent went and showed me the house. So you showed me the house. And I'll just never forget how professional you were when I had another agent. And now I see your stuff everywhere. And my agent that sold me the house, I like them, but she doesn't do any of the things that you do. I've been watching you for 6 years. That's 6 years of compound interest. And the first thing she said was me, oh, do you know Paula? Yeah, I go, yeah, she's the other agent. She goes, I work with her at the hospital. I go, why aren't you using Paula? And she goes, because she's not you. Okay. And she's a friend of hers. That's what compound interest is. Now, had she not told me that, I don't remember ever meeting this woman. It was 6 years ago. But the efforts that you put in now, you will see massive results from at later times. Okay. Also, mediocrity syndrome. We see that people, they have limiting beliefs. All right. They let their negative past experience or memories that they have, they see them as being truth. Okay. And unfortunately, our bodies start to adapt to our belief system based upon past experiences that sometimes, in most cases, aren't really accurate or true. Okay. Let me repeat that. Your limiting beliefs, the negative past experiences and memories that you have, that your body and you seem to believe to be true, you start to adapt to that belief system, and that's how your reality starts to become. Now, this is science right here. Okay, this isn't just, this is like all the hundreds of books that I've read and all the science that say the same exact thing about how we do. So many people, now look at me, for example. I'm just talking about me because I'm me, right? So think about you. I was in a foster home. I was in a group home. I was in juvenile hall. Okay, I made some really bad decisions. So I can look at myself, and I've had to actually go to therapy for this, right? Do EMDR, because I my belief system and the memories, I still fight with that, right? Sometimes I have to remind myself, that's the memories, that's the feelings from you when you were in juvenile hall, right? Now you're a leader. You're a positive. You're a great mom. You're a kick-ass business person. Okay, that's who I am now. That's the belief system that I have now. But sometimes the memory, sometimes the memories of the other thing try to creep in, right? That's the amygdala. That's the bad wolf. But because of the mind work that we do every day, every morning, I'm able to combat that. Okay, so people that are mediocre, they let their belief system and the negative experiences and the negativity overcome the reality that they're in control to do anything that they want. Remember, what you think, your attitudes, your beliefs, your philosophies, they really shape your actions, right? That's how you act. How you believe, what you think is how you act, right? And what does that give us? That's our habits. We just read habits. I actually have this thing right here on what is it called hi, sweetie, where it's laminated because it's such a great reminder, right? My habits are my rituals. They're my routines. They're what I implement. Those are my actions. My thinking shapes my actions, and my actions are my life, right? If I've got positive thinking and positive actions, then my results, my life are going to be success and growth and change. But remember, I've got to be willing to give it the time that it takes, because all great things are uphill. You don't get to climb Mount Kilimanjaro on day one. It might take people 3 to 4 years to get there. But guess what? Once you get there, it's a lot easier going down than it was going up. Okay, a lot easier going down. So I want you to think about something. Your input, your actions, that's the cause, is taken now, has little effect on the output or on the effect, right? What you're doing right now has little effect on what's happening right now. You don't see the results. I didn't see the results from the book for 2 years. 6 years ago, I met with a lady and she's hired me 6 years later. I don't even remember meeting her. I hardly remember writing the book now, honestly. It was grueling, but I don't remember the gruelingness and all the energy put in. But I'll tell you what, now my couple common clubs, I like that. Okay. But the same action that you're doing right now has an exponential effect later. That's what you've got to remember. When you start to feel like, oh man, I want to give up, this is hard, you have to understand that the actions that you are taking now have an exponential compound effect later. But what do most people do? They get all excited. It's kind of like when you want to lose weight, right? Like when you want to lose weight and you're super excited, you join the gym, you get the shakes, you do all this stuff, and you don't see the results right away. And so you quit and you go and eat those Twinkies, whatever it might be. I like Twinkies too. And then later, if you just would have waited a couple of weeks or a couple of months, all of a sudden you start to, when you first start working out and you go to sit on the toilet and your butt hurts, like you can barely even sit. And it's like, oh my God, my butt, like it kills you, right? Like your butt hurts so bad when you sit on the toilet. You've felt that before, right? But after a month, it's like you don't feel it at all because of what you did. It's not because of what you did the day before. It's because of what you did a month before. Okay? So we have to understand something, that our memory does not understand what action or what the cause was that got us the effect, that got us the output, right? Creating your videos, running your ads, doing all this stuff, dropping off the CMAs. I guarantee you, if you are doing the CMAs on a regular basis, that you are going to have massive exponential impact effect later. You don't usually see it now. Truthfully, I've gone to people's houses. It's kind of creepy, but they'll have stacks of my postcards, like stacks. And I'm like, that's kind of weird, right? Or I cannot tell you how many times over the past 10 years, because I've only been probably delivering things for about 10 years, where people will hire me and they'll say, I've had this for 4 years. I've had this for 7 years. I mean, honestly, I've had this thing you dropped off for 7 years. Do you think I even remember dropping it off or doing it? No. We don't remember all the work and the action that we took to get the results that we're going to get later. You cannot see the results from your work right away. And mediocre people, they don't understand that the work that they're putting in now, they're going to see later. So mediocre people quit and they stop. They don't understand the cause and effect compounds exponentially over time, right? Making deposits into your business, making deposits into your life. They're not going to see the massive results that they would actually see in the short run. They're going to see the massive results in the long run. Okay? We have to put in the effort now. And sometimes it sucks and it's hard and we want to stop. But remember, the habits, right? They can create world changers and they can create world killers, right? Based upon what we're doing. So this is a really good example. Albert Einstein, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. He who understands it earns it, and he who doesn't pays it. Okay, you can see the graph here, how it looks. Why is that? The effort that you put in now, it's not always seen now. There's no such thing as an overnight success story or somebody just all of a sudden doing wonderfully. Look at Warren Buffett's net worth. Okay? I mean, look at how this grew. He had one bad month there, but he went from 8 million to 10 million to 25 million to 34 million. Let's skip the 19 million. That was a bad year. To 67 million to 376 million. It almost doubles. Then it almost doubles again, doubles. And then boom. I mean, my goodness. It goes from 3.8 billion to 17 billion in 7 years. And then to 36 billion to 58 billion. Like that, all the effort and work and compound interest. That's what I want you to start thinking about, the effort that you put in and the habits that you're creating. Okay? So how do we master the success gene? I'm calling this the success gene. Okay? How do we master the success gene? Number one, we refrain from naysayers and people looking for others to justify their own failure. People like to have people, it's not working for me. Is it not working for you? I can't lose this weight. Oh, this marketing isn't working. Oh, it's great to have people that are going to justify your failures, because then it gives you a reason to quit and excuse and not look at your own behavior and not remember that input equals output, cause and effect, time, actions compound over time. Okay? So refrain from people that are going to justify your failures. Look for people that are going to be like-minded like you. The success principle comes from those that look for answers. They have solution-based thinking. When they have problems, what's the answer? What's the solution? Right? Before you ever ask for help, you should already have 3 solutions that you actually come up with. And guess what? In most cases, you're going to find your own answer. Okay? The success gene, they expect it. They expect to win. They know it's going to win. They believe that they're going to win. That's a really, really good a point. I'm just going to stop sharing here for a second. I don't remember which book I was reading, but they interviewed a bunch of successful people. I think it might have been The School of Greatness from Lewis Howe. And he was saying how, I'm not sure if it's that book, I can't remember, but I remember reading it. And they were saying how when they interviewed all these successful people, all of them had one thing in common. All of them. One of the things they had in common was that they just knew, they believed that no matter what, it was going to work. And it's crazy because I have that same belief system. Like, I don't know where it comes from, but I just know things are going to work, right? Like, it's going to work because I know it will work, because I know I won't quit until it works. And that doesn't mean I don't screw up a ton of times along the way, because I absolutely do. Probably more than any of you, because I'm like a fast-paced person, and which means I tend to fall a lot, right? But I know that as I'm falling, that I'm learning, which means I'm getting closer to where I'm going to go. I mean, you guys have no idea how hard it's been with the coaching. Like, I can't even tell you, if you would never know because you don't see it on me, but there's been days where I'm like, holy God, why am I doing this? It has been a rough journey for me. And not to mention, remember when I wanted to start, the naysayers, who were my own personal close family and husband who loves me dearly, but was also like, what the hell, you mean you're going to be a coach? You make over $1 million a year in net. Why are you going to coach? Like, people don't do that, Krista, in normal life. They don't do that, get in a career and then leave it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm bored of it, and I really want to start teaching again. And everyone's like, no, my parents were like, well, no, Krista, don't do that. And a little birdie was like, should I listen? Nope. And I'm so glad. But I'll tell you what, it hasn't been easy getting there. It's been like you get shoved under the rock 15 times with, 50 bricks put on me. And I'm just like, why is this so hard? Because I know that my outcome is really going to be huge. Like, I have this belief and just know that, like, man, I'm meant to do this because I must be really going to help a lot of people. And that's why the bad wolf, the devil's trying to push me down. Like, I really believe that. And I know that no matter what, like I'm getting there. And I believe also that the more that I'm helping people, the more I'm trying to be pushed down. But I believe and know, and you have to too. You have to believe and know that no matter what, that what you're doing is working. Not going to, not maybe. Successful people have the belief system that they know that no matter what, behind a shadow of a doubt, that it is working. Okay, that's what successful people know. So you have to develop that success system. Why do you think it is that I have you do your daily sheets? And why is it that some of you don't do it? Like, remember, habits aren't, well, you don't take a course and hire a coach and just say, oh, I'm going to sometimes do what they say. No, you do what they say every freaking day. Every day. Thank you, Michelle. Every day you do what they say. Thank you, Mike. Why? Thank you, John. Great. You guys are awesome. Why? Thank you, Tracy. Because they are developing habits. The reason we have you celebrate your successes, because success breeds success. I'm getting you to focus on success so you'll get more success. I didn't learn that. I was taught that in books by scientists and highly successful people. One of my coaches now is making $50 million this year. $50 million. Why did I hire him? Because I don't make $50 million and he does. Okay. And that's just one coach. I have another coach I'm paying $10,000 a month to right now. He's a leadership coach. And you know what? He's helping me be a better leader. And I'm watching how he's leading me and my team, and it's making me be a better leader. I've made more stride in the past 2 months than I have in 5 years by paying this guy this money. And it's a lot of money. It's 120 grand a year for like an hour of his time. 4 hours actually a month for me. Okay, but do you get where I'm going? So when he tells me, Krista, read the book, 7 Letters of Leadership by John Maxwell, Krista, do your daily sheet, I'm doing it. Not just some of the time, every single day. That's how you become great. By doing what other people are not willing to do every single day. Okay? And not when we just feel like it. People that are successful, they push through even when they don't want to, especially during a worldwide pandemic. All right? Especially when the whole world is falling apart and people are killing each other and excusing their behavior to go loot, based upon a cause that really isn't that cause. It's an excuse to steal and to hurt people. Okay, now more than ever, you need to master your habits because they can make and they can break you. Okay, let's talk more about the share screen, about the success gene. What else are we seeing? They take massive action. What kind of action? Massive action. Successful people in this program, they take massive action. They keep going. What do we say in our manifesto? I will push. I will never give up. I know I am the only one responsible for creating the life that I deserve, and I am. Who is responsible? I am. We push and we never give up, and there are no excuses. The only excuse is in the mirror. That's it. The success gene, people understand that failure is actually good. It means that you're growing. It means that you're learning and pushing forward. It means that you're moving and taking action. You're taking perfectly imperfect action, and you are doing. You're not just getting ready. You're not just aiming. You are firing. The success gene, they know and believe that no matter what, it's going to work out. They will achieve the success that they want, but they have to truly believe that they are going to get it, like really, really believe it. Not when they're having a hard day, not when they lose that client, not when they break their finger, not when they fall. All the time, they know it. They never doubt themselves. They never doubt the program, ever. Okay? Because that's an excuse. Doubt will kill you. Doubt is a bad habit. Why is it that certain people always just seem to have everything negative happen? Because they expect it. They believe it. So of course they get their plate last. And then when they do, they get a Band-Aid in it that's bloody or, a hair in it. All right. I mean, really, I have people like that, and I'm just like, come on, it's you are creating this. Okay, so what do you have to do to have the success gene? You have to commit to implementation. Commit to implementation. Knowledge is power, but without implementation, nothing's going to happen. You have to act. You have to take massive action. You have to commit to not being the victim of your past or your excuses. You have to commit to knowing that you're the only one responsible for creating the life that you have and that you want. You have to master your thoughts and beliefs to create your perfect life. To what? To create it. And you have to commit to knowing that you are going to see everything through. You understand that the cause and effect, your input versus output times the time is a compound effect. Compound effect, okay? The cause and effect, your input versus output times time, right, gives you the compound effect. But it does take time. This is an essential part of you earning success and being financially free, is understanding that the cause and effect, what you put in, gets you the output, but you need to understand the time factor, and that will have a compound effect on your business. And this isn't just your business, it's everything. It's the emotionally and mentally, it's everything. And what are habits? Habits are healthy attitudes. They're healthy beliefs. They're healthy implementation and action, right? They're healthy thoughts, which gives us our success. That's what habits stand for. Healthy attitudes, beliefs, implementations, thoughts for success. Okay, now how classic was it that this morning, the very first thing that we read, I'm just going to read it one more time just to really, really get you to understand this. You may know me. I am your constant companion. I am your greatest helper, and I may be your heaviest burden. I will push you onward or drag you down to failure. I am at your command. Half of the tasks you do might as well be turned over to me. I'm able to do them quickly. I'm able to do them the same every time if that's what you want. I am easily managed. All you've got to do is be firm with me. Show me exactly how you want it done, and after a few lessons, I'll do it automatically for the rest of your life. I am the servant of all great men and women, of course, and I am the servant to all the failures as well. I've made the great individuals who have ever been great, and I've made all the failures that have ever failed. But I work with all the precision of a marvelous computer. I work with the intelligence of a human being. Be easy on me, and I will destroy you. Be firm with me, and I'll put the whole world at your feet. Dennis P. Kimbrough. What am I? I am your habits. Okay, so, man, we're ready to go out and kick some butt today, is what I think. After this, we are going to kick some butt today. But here's the deal. We can't just kick butt today. It just can't be today. We've got to be committed to mastering our life. And it's not just our business. The more that we're committed, one of the things that, thanks, Novita, one of the things that that great people do is they're constantly mastering not just their business, but their mindset, their relationships, their habits, every aspect of who they are as a human being. That's how we become great. And we never, ever stop, right? You're never settled. It's never like, when am I going to get there? It's how far can I go, right? Not when, it's how far can I go? That's how we as community market leaders need to be thinking about life. And that's why so many people will say, not only has this program changed my business, but it's changed my life. I'm happier, right? My marriage is happier. I'm more content. I'm more fulfilled because they're committed to mastering their life, not just their business. Committed to mastering. And that's what I want us to always truly be committed to doing. And you will see momentum in time. And the compound effect of you continually doing that is going to just make massive impact in every aspect of your business. So as you go about your day, especially with what's going on, okay, I want you to ask yourself, am I doing something that I'm going to be proud of? Am I going to be proud of how I'm acting in my business? If I was applying for a job right now, would I be happy if they had a camera on me? If I was applying to be president, are my actions that I'm doing both in the dark and online, am I going to be proud of them? Ask yourself that question every time. As I tell my kids every day since they have the first day of kindergarten, I've said this to them when they leave. Make good choices, even when no one's looking, and always have integrity. To the fact that now, if I don't say when they're running out the door and they're 19 and 21, Mom, make good choices, even when no one's looking, and always have integrity, right? Unfortunately, I had to remind them of that too many times when they weren't making good choices. Remember what that actually means. It means to make good choices. And I wasn't looking and they weren't a good choice, right? But most of the time they are as they've gotten older. Okay. So today, some of you might be thinking, Krista, this wasn't a business. This is all business, baby. It's all business right now. Because if you can master this, your business, which is your life, right, is going to just continue to get better. This is the kind of call that you want to go back and listen to the recording and remind yourself of just these things, especially during a worldwide pandemic. Okay? Because unfortunately, people do weird things in crowds. People do weird things in crowds. They actually change their behavior based upon what crowds are doing. And so we have to be really careful to not become, we want to be the leader of the pack, the right pack, right? We don't want to become whatever the people in the pack are called. We want to become the leader of the pack right now. So that's why I did the positivity challenge. And if you didn't see it in the group, go in the group and look. My positivity post for today is going to be the quote that I just read to you. It just totally touched me today. And being somebody that's focusing on positivity and promoting goodness is a leader. And right now the world needs it. So highly encourage you to start your own positivity challenge and see something that inspires you. Tag 10 people and try to do 10 different people every day for the next 10 days. Encourage them to tag 10 people and let's focus on good things. There's enough bad out there right now. Okay. Questions, comments? Anybody? I want to hear right now, Caitlin.
Hey. Okay, so I love everything you've been saying because in the past week, I've listened to 2 podcasts that are very much in line with this. So one is with Ed Milet, and he was talking with Phil Mickelson. And so he asked Phil, like, what separates him as a world-class golfer from somebody who is, further in the pack or just hasn't reached the level of success that Phil has. And Phil said that he once gave advice to this guy who wanted to be a great golfer. And he was like, man, I really need to work on my short game. What do I need to do? And Phil was like, well, this was what was told to me. So this is what you should do. Every day, take 100 putts. And if you miss a putt within the 100, you have to go back and start at 100 and get until you can get to 100 and do that every single day for like X amount of time or whatever it was. He goes and runs into the guy months later. And he's like, hey man, how's your game going? He's like, I got to like 50 and then I just quit. And so like, it just shows you the dedication to make, like, it ultimately comes down to your actions and whether you're going to commit to that. And then I also listened to Lewis Howes' podcast with Kevin Hart. And Kevin Hart was saying that, he had to commit to showing up and doing shows, even when like 2 or 3 people showed up or no people showed up. But from that, he's like, I didn't see it as a failure. I saw it as an opportunity to learn each time to get better. And he said, I never had a plan B. And he said, I figured if I put in the work if I did the right work and with a little bit of luck, there was no chance I was going to fail. He's like, it had no chance but to work out. And so like those things have just really stuck with me. And I feel like it really pertains to everything that you're talking about today.
I'll need to go listen to this. I haven't heard him. That's awesome. That's so great. No, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I love Ed Wilet and Lewis Howes.
I do too.
I actually read Lewis Howes' book in my Teens Lifting Lives, The School of Greatness. That was one of the books I read with the teens.
It's on my list of books to read this year.
Yeah, it's a good one. Awesome. Thank you, Caitlin. Alexia.
Hey, so I just want to also thank you because you really hit hard with me today. I've been reflecting as you were talking. Back when I was a child, I had great success, but it was because of the discipline that my mom instilled in me. And then life made me undisciplined and I started having less success. And then I was also reflecting, and I want to encourage everyone, no matter where you're starting, because I started taking care of my mom when she was on hospice, and I instilled in her small disciplines, small habits. And for the next 7 years, I regained a lot of her strength through 10-minute habits throughout the day. So it doesn't matter where you're starting. If you'll implement habits, no matter how small you think they are, they will compound greatly. So, Krista, I just really wanted to thank you for that, that hard hit to the gut, because what you said today was absolutely true. No matter where you're starting, no matter how small of a habit you do, it will compound greatly and you'll see tremendous results.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So true. It's kind of like, even if you're having trouble with something, we had a student and I'll get you in a second, Rich, that his son had cancer, and Hunter was his name, and he was such a great man. And I called him one day and I was like, hey, you don't look right. And he explained to me what was going on. He's like, I'm just having the hardest time, Krista. And I said, hey, can you just try to live your life in 15-minute increments? Like spend your day in 15-minute increments. So if you're going through something really, really difficult, if you can just say, okay, for the 15 minutes, I'm going to do X, something positive towards your mindset, positive towards your business, just for 15 minutes. And then you can break down afterwards. And so he literally started living his day in 15-minute increments, and it helped him get through, right? I mean, imagine your son, the success rate of him living was very, very low. He had over 100 tumors in his stomach. And he said that helped him so much because it was able to take the pressure off of feeling what was going on and the sadness and the worry and the parent, to be able to just kind of live his life, because he's like, I still have to make money. I still have to provide, right? So it's like, just do it in 15-minute increments. Awesome. Rich.
If I can share a win from yesterday. I had a couple in Florida moved from Milwaukee, and they called 3 agents to go over to the house and do a CMA and get back with them on how much. I sent them the pre-listing video the night before, and they came up yesterday. I was the only one invited back, and they said it was because of the pre-listing video, and they listed it yesterday.
Woohoo! How much was that? See, now look at. Now, had Rich not had the pre-listing video done, he might not have gotten that listing.
Exactly right.
Right? So he's making sure that he has the tools done. Now, did it take Rich time to get the listing presentation video done? Did it take energy? Did it take effort? When he was making that video, did he see the results of it when he was making it? No, he saw it yesterday. Okay, compound effort. Input equals output. Rich, great job. And I love hearing successes. Eric Anderson. Eric, where you been? You've been gone, brother.
I've been so busy because of you. Awesome. No, so I just finished roughly my first year in the program. And I've told you this, but I don't know if everybody's heard it, but my business was absolutely in the toilet last year when I started. And I sold like one home the entire first quarter of 2019. I just did the stats last night and compared my year-to-date 2020 to what I did in all of 2019, and I've already seen 33% growth. And some of that data from 19 was before you, so I still need to figure out, like after Krista, where the growth was versus, the entire year. But I mean, it would have been so easy, given my circumstances. I started when I was at seminary, you guys know I'm a pastor. I started a PhD in biblical Hebrew. The churches are small and struggling. It would have been so easy to give up. I mean, we have 6 kids. The 3rd child, our medical bill was forgiven by the hospital because we were living below poverty. I mean, we all have our stories, right? And it would have been so easy to be a victim, to give up. But like what Caitlin said, that Kevin Hart, quote, about if I just do the right things for long enough over a sustained period of time, the habits, the discipline, the mindset, things improve. And we've been living dirty, nasty, housing and stuff. Living. We are at the point we have a home under contract. My business has been solid and growing, and a lot of that is to your credit. So it's just in a really great place now. And I told you before, not only is my business sort of COVID proof, I've never been busier, literally.
No, that's awesome. That's because you didn't give up. And I'll tell you, I remember Eric was at our live summit and he told me, he's like, something just clicked. And I was like, I'm doing this. And it's when he made that decision, when it clicked, he just went, right? And the guys, yeah, I'm proud of you, Eric. That's awesome. Lacey, and then Rich again.
Hey,
Eric, I want you to give me a testimonial. Lacey.
Someone mentioned the other day, and it's kind of what Rich was talking about too. We have a community page for the lake that I service, and someone posted the other day that they were looking to move letter recommendations, and someone, I believe it was on Tuesday's call, I'm not sure, I can't remember which call I was on, but somebody had mentioned that something similar had happened to them. And they sent them a personal message. And I think they said they sent their buyer's guide or something. But what could I send? What would you send? What would you do to reach out to this person and send to them to make yourself stand out from like all the other people just commenting their referrals and, hey, I'm a realtor.
Is it a buyer or a seller?
It's a buyer.
Well, I do, of course, my listing video. I'd send them a buyer's guide. I'd call them and ask questions and say, hey, what exactly, what are you looking for? And then I would absolutely start sending them specific content relevant to all the things, like ask as many questions as you can. Do you have kids? How old are they? What's important to you? What are your lifestyle interests? I mean, and then just literally every couple of days to start sending them stuff like that.
Okay. So you would send your, did you say you would send your pre-listing video?
No. Like a bonbon video or
okay,
a regular video. How you doing? It's Lacey, blah, blah, blah.
Gotcha.
Okay. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Eric, do you have a question again? Or are you good? I'm sorry. No, your hand's done. Lower. You got you. Okay, everyone. Read your manifesto. I don't have time. I have to jump on another call. Eric, did you have something else to say? Okay, I have to jump on another call that's at 9, so I don't mean to get off, but please read your manifesto. I love doing that together. Pretend like we're all reading it together. In fact, let's just read it together real quick. I'll be late. I can't handle not doing it. It makes me feel guilty. Okay, let's read it. And unmute yourselves so we can all hear each other. And let's rock it out. I am a community market leader.
I'm not just a real estate agent. I'm a visionary. Revolution is practical do not just sell.
Do not just sell. I strive for excellence. In the way real estate
And how I control the chat.
rely on traditional business, getting clients and generating leads. I focus on because I know that nothing happens overnight.
I'm the only one that community market leader.
You guys are awesome. Make it a great day. I will see you on Tuesday. Show up on Tuesday. It's going to be an amazing training. I've already got it. Get ready to go. So show up, okay? I'll see you guys Tuesday. Bye. Hey there, I have a brand new podcast called Fired Up with Krista Mashore, where I bring my high energy right to your ears. This podcast is available on all your favorite podcast platforms. So do me a favor, go subscribe and leave a review. All this information is free and I cannot wait to teach you everything I know. Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.